Hello everyone. Today I would like to show you how to create and edit features in ArcGIS. This is one of the most important skills everyone should have that apply to geographers, emergency managers, as well as research scientists. When you work for a company or work with a research project, sometimes you don't have the data with you. You need to create the data by locating their real-world locations on a map. So to start with creating a new feature, as our first few labs, we need to create a folder under your computer. So under your U drive, GIS, we create a computer called P3. And here the P3 is empty. And we want to download the data from the USGS Tiger files, as well as we will create new data under this folder. Then the second step for you is to go to Google using your browser. And I type in Tiger. If you still remember our last assignment, we press enter Tiger files. And the first entry is a Tiger file website offered by US Census Bureau. And then we go down to shapefiles. Shapefiles are the files used in ArcGIS. We go to 2014 or 13, it doesn't matter because there's not too much difference of the roads in this area between those 2 years. So I just go to 2013 in accordance to our last practice. And we're going to go to download and the web interface. And then now we want to create a layer for all the roads in this area. So we go down this list and find roads and submit. And then there are 3 options, and we choose all the local roads from the second option, and we choose Arkansas, submit, and then we find Pope County. So this is very similar to the last assignment you have done. Pope County, and download. And then after the file is downloaded, we open it. We copy all the files and we paste into the P3 folder. So that's the roads in this area. So in the next step, we open our ArcMap, and it takes a few seconds to load the map. And then we want to add the data we just downloaded by clicking on the plus button right here. And then we find it using the connect to folder function under computer, U drive, and then GIS, P3. This is the folder we just created, and OK. And so this is the layer we just downloaded, all the roads. Now this is the roads in Pope County. However, it's not characterized, meaning you cannot see which one is a highway, which one is a local road. So in order to do that, I will make it different colors. So I right-click here and then choose Properties. And then I go to Symbology, Categories, Unique Values. And in the drop-down box, we choose RTTYP, which is all the type of roads. And we add all values. And it seems there are 6 types of roads. They represent 6 levels. I don't know all of them, but I can tell you I means interstate, and U means US highways. So I is the highest level, and the U is the second highest level. So we keep those 2 roads, and then we make the others local roads. In order to do that, we remove all these values except I and U. And we make sure I is expressway, which means the highway, and U is a local road, local highway. You can use either this one or this one. All the other values will be in a different color. Let me change this color a little bit. And we apply and OK. You can see here, we just change the color of the interstate as well as the US highways. So if you look at the first page of this instruction, you'll see that the purpose of this lab is to help you create a new feature called Arkansas Tech University. Because we cannot find this layer anywhere on the website, we need to create it by ourselves. So how can we create this? The first, you need to create a new shapefile from ArcGIS. In order to do that, we go to the catalog. So this is a catalog. It is this yellow button. And you open it. And this is all this folder you just created. If you cannot find it, you can use the folder connector. The same as you add in your data. It's under the folder connections, and we have the P3 right here. And under the P3, you create a new, right-click and create a new shapefile. So this shapefile is a totally new one. And we call this ATU. And the feature type, because it's a campus, so it's a polygon, it's not point. We need to draw the polygon. You can also use polyline to create the boundary of the campus. So both polyline and the polygon work. So in this case, I will choose polygon to make sure it is the same as in the instruction. And here is a coordinate system. This is very important because you need to make sure the ATU coordinate system is the same as your back layer, which is the road. So the road use a coordinate system called GCS, North American 1983. So I will find that under the edit. It's called Geographic Coordinate Systems and North America 1983. So this is a coordinate system that is used by your base map, and we want to make sure the map you create, the layer you created, use the same type of coordinate system. And OK. You'll see there's a new layer called ATU on the map. However, there's nothing in there. So how can we make sure there are things in this map? We will first locate the campus on this map. If you are pretty familiar with this area and you are from this area, ATU is actually located between those this highway and the US highway. So we go a little bit further. If you see here, this is our ATU. So if you are not from this area, you may not know the location. So what I would do is I would just pull out Google Map and compare this map with Google Map, as you can see from the instruction. And in order to create a new layer, we want to make this really big, about this big. So this covers the entire screen. In order to do that, we turn on the editor. So what is the editor? Normally it is not on. And in order to turn on the editor, we go to Customize, Toolbars, and Editor. So the editor is now open. We drag it to the menu. to the toolbar, and you drop down in the drop down menu. You click on Start Editing, and now you see a menu is popped out. If this menu is not popped out, you can find it. I think it is the last icon from this editor toolbar called Create Feature. You just click on it, and it will pull the menu out. We click on ATU and polygon, which means we are creating polygon on this map. And in order to do that, I would just close this so this area can be shown on the map. In order to create this ATU map, we don't draw it along the boundary. We just click on the corners, which means the vertex. We just click our mouse, right down here, which is northwestern corner, all the way down to the lower left, and we click and click. You click on the corner called vertex of this polygon, all the way up. You should be very careful when you are drawing the curve. Instead of clicking on one point along the curve, you click on multiple points along the curve to make sure it is very close to the curve you are drawing. So you are actually using the polygon to mimic a curved shape. So after everything is done, you right click and finish sketch. This is finished. If you are not satisfied with this, you can just press the delete button and the entire thing will be deleted. After you have created this, we click on Stop Editing, and there will be pop-out menu telling you if you want to save, and yes. Drawing polygons and points in GIS needs a lot of practice, and I am pretty sure you cannot do it well the first time you draw it, but you will get it eventually. And here you only have created a shape, however there's nothing associated with it, which means there's nothing in its attribute table. There's no name, no address, no phone number, no zip code. If we want to include all this information and attach that, affiliate the shape with the information, we go to the ATU, the layer. Make sure your editor is stopped. If it's still in the editing mode, you cannot create new field. So make sure the editor is stopped, and then you go to ATU and open attribute table. Now this is attribute table. It only has 3 fields. Those are automatically generated, called FID, shape, and ID. And we want to add a new field, and this field is called name. The name should be, instead of using short integer, which is a number, float and double are also numbers. We use text. So text, and the name, the field of the name would be name, just name, name of the school. And okay, so this is our first field. And then we create another one called address. And address is also a text. And third, we create a field called undergrad. So undergrad would be the number of undergraduate students on campus. So that would be a number. So the short integer actually has a very limited range, so I would use long integer for undergrad. If it has decimals like weight or height, normally I would use double instead. So use long integer for any integers, use double for any decimals, and text for others. That's my suggestion. So long integers. And there's a 0 automatically generated, meaning it's a numerical field. And the next, we want to put some information in this table. However, if you click on it, you cannot enter anything. This is because you are not in the editing mode. Only if you are in the editing mode, you can enter information. So we just click on the editor. We start editing. And now you are in the editing mode. As you can see here, it says stop editing. It means you are in the editing mode. And you double click the name, and you will see your cursor is flashing. And we just enter Arkansas Tech University. Address 1605 N Coliseum Drive. Number of graduate student, undergrad student, 10482. Now you have entered all the information, and you stop. Save, yes. And all this information are saved in your attribute table if you look at the attribute table here. So how can we show that on the map? That's a problem. This is very interesting because this is from the second lab. I bet you have forgotten it. So here I will show you. Your label features. You see there's a 0. So how can we change this to ATU or to its address or anything you want from the attribute table? We go to the properties and labels. We change from ID to name, and you can even set the size and the style of the label. Make it bigger and may use as bold a different font. So here we have changed it. So after this layer is created, make sure you save it. So how can we save it? Save. Just click on the save, and you can also find it under the file. And you'll find the U drive, GIS, and the P3. I would put everything into the same folder and make it more organized. And this is called ATU. And we save. So make sure you save this map. When you save all this map, you can close the ArcGIS and to see if it is saved correctly. Here under your U drive, you can see the map is saved. So this folder contains all the information you need to create the ATU map. And we will use this folder for your next assignments. So make sure you have it saved correctly. Thank you.